Hi there. In this video we'll be taking a look at this PARKSIDE Cordless Rotary Tool 4V version PFBSA 4A1. Drill chuck maximum 3.2 mm, 25,000 RPM maximum. This is what should be included with it. And I bought this guy because previously I had a mains powered one which was quite big and cumbersome, and I wanted something much smaller, and I bought one, and by mistake I actually bought a bigger model second hand. The video will be linked in the description, so at least it was cheap, but it was the wrong model. I thought it's this one, it wasn't. Anyway, a little bit of info right here: routing, grinding, polishing, cleaning and engraving. LED indication for speed, 4V battery, 2 amps 4V, yep. Compact design, non-slip soft grip, extensive accessories in a practical storage box. Woohoo! Yeah, let's get to it. So let's open the little box, which is already open, as you can see. So that's a bit weird, but anyway, bought this from eBay, so hopefully didn't make an error again. Manual, we'll take a look at that in a moment, and this tiny guy. And honestly, this could have been a bit smaller without all of this rubber all around, but doesn't really matter. But now that I compare it with the other one that I got, this was not a good purchasing spree that I went on. So the difference between them is absolutely minimum. But I will see if this thingy is at least almost as powerful as the big one, or the same power as the big one. I'm going to be selling the big one and only keeping this one, even though for sure it will have less battery life. Or I could keep both and use it depending on what has charged battery and what not. So 12V this one, but not replaceable battery. 4V this one, much lighter obviously, but who knows in terms of power. Anyway, I guess we'll be learning about that. A little bit of a bag with all sorts of thingies in here for polishing, for grinding, a stone for grinding. Does it have any sort of cutting disc included? Nope, no cutting disc. I think this is for polishing. Yeah, it is what it is. This is for cutting sideways, routing basically. This one is for filing down your teeth. I'm joking, but in the good old days, I think dental accessories kind of looked like this. They were, and it hurt like hell. Anyway, there's that. So yeah, it seems it's new, actually, honestly. But let's see in terms of power what we are dealing with. Oh, we still have more. Yeah, charging cable. USB Type-C at least. So there's that. Let's get everything out of the way. Power it on. Okay, ish. It still has this, so you need to... If you just press it quickly, nothing happens. You need to long press it. Still doesn't power on. It shows you the speed. You can adjust it to whatever you need, and then you press again to power it on. And this is the level of charge. So let's see. Yeah, on low speed, really easy to shut it off. Error mode, power again. No, it's weaker than this one. Probably it's actually somewhat to be expected if you think about it. Yeah, I can quite easily shut it off. Let's remove this. I don't want to grind my fingers. And see how easy it is to shut this one off. Ah, come on. Start already. Yeah, a bit harder. Let me try and do this a bit better controlled. I think I was a bit too abrupt. Okay, that hurts. Yeah, okay. I can stop it, but not really easily. Let me try again with this one. Is this maximum? Yeah, this is maximum. Yeah, much easier to stop this one. So yeah, it seems I'm keeping both of them. And for smaller jobs, I will be using the tiny one. For bigger jobs, the big one. And for jobs where any can be used, I'm going to use any. So, okay. And for this one, I also want to add another, because I opened it up and there's place for another bearing in the tip. Many recommend it online, add the second bearing. I want to also check this one out. Let's see, do we have place for a second bearing, in which case I will order 2 bearings and add that to both of them. And I think there is place for a second bearing. Let's see, this little chuck, is it interchangeable so I can put different attachments? Because this only comes with 1 chuck, but the other one came with way more. So I have, I think, 4 different size chucks. Yep, and they are interchangeable, as you can see. Perfect. So I can adjust any of the tools with whatever I want to insert in there. That's great, and these things also seem to be 100% identical, so interchangeable. That's awesome. But now I need to open this thing up, see what's in, and if I can put the same bearing as in this one, because, come on, open up, open up, open up. This one also has room for a second bearing in there, and to me that looks right about the same, but I need to open this up to make sure it is the same. This one is opened in its video. Let's see what we have inside of here. Obviously it will be a single cell for the battery. This one has 3 cells. Oh, and I need to get this thingy off, because obviously I need to get it off. It's split right at the middle. And yes, goodbye warranty. I bought this from eBay. It was new, but you could see the box was open, so somebody probably bought it and they decided, hey, I don't want this anymore. So yeah, there's that. I want it. And yeah, they both will be open at the same time when my bearing arrives, in this video and also in the other one. This has a longer PCB on top of the cell. 2000 milliamp hour cell, and it's PARKSIDE cell. Yeah, I guess. I think the motor is a bit smaller than in the other one. It's a 4 volt, in the other one it's a 12 volt. But let me measure this little guy, but I'm 99% sure it's identical to the other one. I will write the dimensions for the other one on video now. So for this one, external 14 millimeters, shaft internal 7 millimeters, and width 5 millimeters. It's not really a standard bearing, but yeah, I can get it, and I will buy probably more of them. So yeah, that's about it. At this point I'm going to close it back up, order the bearing, and let's just take a quick look at the manual until the bearing arrives. Let's take just a quick look at this manual, although this is such a simple tool that I really don't know what you could see in a manual, but yeah, feel free to pause it anytime. A bit of info, so it will work normally with maximum 38.1 millimeter disc diameter, but depends on honestly on what you are trying to do, because you can use that size, but probably it has not really too much power to cut. So yeah, depends a lot on what you are trying to achieve. A bit of info about noise and vibration right here. Noise level, it's decently low on this thing. Yeah, warnings, safety, whatnot. Personal safety, yes, wear goggles with this in case a disc cracks and breaks. You are going to be having fun if you don't have goggles. Even if it's a low power tool, you still want protection on your eyes. Risk of explosion, yep, lithium battery, also risk of fire. Do not leave it in the sun, do not leave it in rain or with a lot of humidity. Fun stuff like that, of course. If you see it's damaged or releasing any heat or smoke in any way, put it somewhere safe, outside as much as possible, and get it to a service or who knows what. Don't keep it in your house in case it's damaged in any way. Even more info right here, but honestly, again, such a simple tool. They give us a bit info about the speed range, so for plastics and materials with low melting point, keep it on speed number 1, but on speed 1 it barely has any power, because it's not the type of motor that has a lot of torque even at low speed. So this almost no torque at low speed. So yeah, you want low speed for low melting point, but it will not do anything. So it's going to be fun. You need to test yourself. They give us a bit of info here. Yeah, if you want to drill, this can actually take a drill inside this, and if you have other sizes from this one, as I have, a different size of drills, you can use it at that point. Basically the milling bit, the one that we have included, and this is maximum protrusion from this thingy, at least that's my understanding of it. For engraving, polishing, brushing and whatnot, only slight pressure. Yep. Cleaning, sanding and cutting discs. Okay, got it. 55mm grinding, 80mm for sandpaper. Okay, I guess. Maximum length of a mandrel is 33mm. Okay, again, if they say so. Maintenance and cleaning right here. And that's about it for English. So yeah, quite a simple tool. Let's wait for some extra bearings, and I already saw this one cuts decently. Honestly, it's almost as powerful as the main powered one, almost, not quite, but this seems way less powerful, but then again way lighter and quite a bit smaller. Not necessarily in size, because they are quite similar almost in size, but in diameter and in how light it is, yeah, it's lighter. So for example, you can use it for engraving something much easier. This one doesn't really have such a nice center of gravity. It pulls a bit from the middle and back, so yeah, and when I try to move it, hand does not move that freely with it. Let me try this one again. Yeah, much better, because there's a motor in here and only one battery. Weight is way more balanced. This one has the weight here at the back, and it's obviously 3 cells, so much heavier. Yeah, for engraving this thing is much better. For other jobs probably this one is better, obviously. So, but if you don't have enough space somewhere where you are trying to do something, then this one comes into its own, and it has the charging port at the end, this one on the bottom or side or whatever that is. Let's wait for bearings. And after a while the bearings have arrived, so let's add a second one. Let me try and show you what's written on it. 687Z, and it goes really nicely in here. And at this point in time we have 2 bearings instead of 1, and this should be much more stable, but I'm not sure if they did this intentionally, put only 1 because they couldn't get it properly aligned with the motor itself or what. But yeah, it is what it is. Oh, don't move. the motor itself, if you want some info, this is it, and the one from the bigger one right here. So RS395 and RS380. And the size, yep, the 12 volt one is bigger. So this is beefier tool for sure. And we saw that basically. So not only the battery is limiting factor, but also the motor itself. Yes, this is not snug, so it can move a little bit. You could block it with something if you want. From my side, I think I will allow it to move just a tiny bit. I'm not sure on this one if this shaft is brass, because on the other one seems to be brass. From the marks you see, they are yellowish. Most likely this one is the same thing and also yellowish. Let's see, can I scratch it a tiny bit? I think I can scratch it. Yeah, it's yellowish. I would say it's brass also. So yeah, kind of that's about it. Let's make sure this does not jump at us when we put this together. I will put just 2 tiny oil drops for the motor itself, although honestly for sure it has already its own grease, most likely in the, how is it called, in the bushing. They kind of use bushings with a bit of didn't this go in? No, it didn't. With a bit of oil in them. Now it reached where it needed to reach. But I just want to be 100% sure. Bearings I will not grease up. They are sealed bearings, so you cannot really grease them up properly. Even if you want to, you would need to open them up, and at this size, no chance of that. Let's put this back together and in high speed and see how it dremels, because it's a Dremel, isn't it? And it's assembled. Let's see what it does. Oh, that's why they didn't do it. This thing is not able, it's not aligned enough to be able to basically spin it. Oh man. That's why they didn't put 2 bearings in there. Can barely spin it. Oh no, my bad. I tightened this too much. The second I tighten it, it tightens on the bearing and tuk does something, and yeah. I will see. I also feel it heating up a bit, so it yeah, it's under load. I might also, let me see what the battery says. The battery might also be drained. I bought it and I did not charge it. So I will charge it and see how it behaves after charging. And it's charging. I'm going to, it started at red, but really quickly it went to yellow. I'm going to let it charge for a good while, until obviously it fully charges, and then we'll see how it behaves. Maybe we will remove what we added, although all the internet was saying the same thing. Put a second bearing in there to upgrade it. Well, yes, but it seems they were not good enough at aligning everything in here, and when you put that second bearing, it actually tightens everything, and too much for that motor in this one. In the other one, maybe we don't have that issue. We'll see. But yeah, let it charge anyway. If you are wondering, yes, this can also work while it's plugged. I have no clue where is it actually drawing from, battery, charger, but it's working. I wanted to check the temperature, and when I started this up, it was showing me a weird spot on my desk, and then I remembered my phone was there. Yeah, anyway, so let's see what we have here. Ooh, that's a big hotspot. Almost 60 degrees while charging. Okay. I wasn't expecting that, although it might be... it is shiny, but yeah, it's still around there, most likely. Yikes. Higher than I would like. I wonder what the other one will do when I charge it. But this one gets quite hot in the battery area. No, I'm just dumb. The PCB is in here, then we have the battery in the middle, then another PCB here. So this is not battery area, this is the opposing side of the PCB. So electronics are right in this area. Maybe some choke or who knows what is that is heating up. And it's fully charged. What's a bit weird? Yeah, it's cooled down completely now. This is also cooled down, so it's not charging anymore. But I'm not sure. Maybe the green one only lights up when it's at 100%. Because otherwise, how do you know it's still charging or it's fully charged already? But yeah, presumably it only lights up when it reaches actually 100% and you can unplug the charger. And this is fully charged. Put the reflector on. Getting ready with the peak tech. Long press. Low speed. Power it on. Quite a small point to measure, so I think that's about a real measurement, about 3000 RPM. Let's increase. Somewhere around 7000 RPM. So about 22,000 and about 17,000 at speed number 3. Okay. Let's see. What was the stated maximum RPM for this thing? 25,000. We are not quite there. But that kind of makes sense because we added a bit of friction with the second bearing. But in theory, we also... oh, why is this hot? What's getting hot in here? There's a lot of friction with the new bearing, isn't it? This is hot. Literally. It's freaking hot. Okay. That's unexpected. The motor itself not hot. Could I have gotten a bad bearing? There's always that possibility, isn't it? But yeah, I think I'm going to run it as is. Seems to be going, so I will just do what you should do in this situation and ignore it. Yeah, if I ever see that it doesn't seem happy, I'm going to change that bearing. But now it seems to be working even at low speed. although there isn't much torque, but neither does this one have much torque at low speed, so that's not just because of the bearing that I put in there. Anyway, maybe in time it will make a bit of room by itself and work. When I also start to press with it, it will change a bit the geometry and be better. Interesting. I wanted to install the accessory that it came with it. What happened here? So the screw and the washer actually fell from this thingy. Now I need to tighten them back up so we can actually use this thingy, this accessory. Be back in a second. If you're wondering what I will Dremel, I want to enlarge this just a tiny bit. I bought this from somebody 4 times more expensive than it will be from PARKSIDE themselves in a week on offer in Lidl. It will be 4 euros and I paid 16 euros because I'm a moron and I had no idea PARKSIDE also sells something like this, although this is a bit sturdier made than the one that they sell, and they sell a variant I think with 1, with 2 and with 4 or something like that. But anyway, and this is 3D printed and it's a fit, but it's a snug fit. So what I intend to do is just enlarge everything a tiny bit, not too much, a little bit, just get rid of some of the lines from 3D printing, and I think the battery will stay much nicer in place, and it's a great way to test this. So let's get to it, and I will stop talking because we'll be making a lot of noise, I think. Okay, it heats up just a tiny bit in this area, just a tiny bit. In this area, again, just a tiny bit. So I think we are good. And it has plenty of power for this when we are using it. So I have no concerns at all. Also, I do need to adjust this thingy. And I think to get it out, if you ever need to, you kind of need to undo this and only then it will be released. Otherwise, it doesn't give it to you. I just want to get it a bit out. So yeah, I will continue. I will do 2 of these things with this Dremel and 2 with the big Dremel, and at the end see what's best. I will stop filming now because yeah, you saw what you needed to. It can handle this without any issues. Only even on this gear, and I think I was too high because the plastic was melting. So I think this is the good gear for working on this, even if it goes a bit slower, so we do not melt the plastic. Nope, on that one does not have enough power, and I can stall it. That's a bit annoying, honestly, because that was the perfect speed to make this work. But yeah, I think I will do it on this one and be a bit more careful to not press too much to overheat it and melt it. Does heat up a bit while working, but nothing bad, maybe 45-50 degrees, something like that, so less than when it's charging. Okay, and you could see I can actually use it like this really easily, and I can do the job with it, which is perfect. Sorry about the noise. I think I found out what it doesn't like is running at low speed while also exerting some pressure onto something. So low voltage, high current. It kind of gets decently hot at this point. So almost 56 degrees. Chuck is also a bit warm. Weirdly enough, not in the area where I put my bearing. It's at the bearing that was already in. It's hotter than the one that I put in. So that's quite interesting. I think actually that's the area. Hopefully, maybe it's the area that I put it in and I'm mistaken. So this is what it doesn't like. It wants to be run at higher speed. More or less than the fan can actually cool it down, but I don't see any proper output from the fan directly out. So the fan is just moving air inside. Is this one also the same? Yeah, that's also the same. What? This is bad design. So the motor does not output air directly to the outside. It just does something inside of the tool, all the hot air. Okay, that's freaking weird. And yes, I have 2 daughters, so ignore that, please. Anyway, so it's doing the job. It does get a bit hot. That might be annoying. Maybe only mine, because I put the second bearing in there. Maybe others will not get hot, and maybe that's actually where I put the bearing that I was seeing that it's hot. I think so, yeah. But it does not burn me at all, so it's less hot than the internals. Yeah, it is what it is, but at least I prefer like this, because it will never come undone from movement from the motor. So yeah. Okay. Battery area does not seem to get hot at all, so there's no issue with that whatsoever. Motor area gets the hottest. And success. Compared to... come on, get the hell out. This is normal, so basically when it will stay on the wall, you can put in the battery and take it out any way you want. That's perfect. Everything is 100% sturdy, nothing is moving, wiggling, nothing is happening, so it's taking it like a champ, but electronics in this area are a bit hot. Battery, I abused it quite a lot, still decent in here, so yeah, good little tool. I don't think you can abuse it more than I did, because you will give it either more speed or work on easier things than this with smaller bits. So I think this is the maximum abuse that this should ever be getting. I'm going to do the ending for this video with them together. I finished the last 2 with this one. What I can say, obviously it has more torque at lower speed, so it was a bit easier to work on this plastic that has a low melting point. This does not heat up as much as this one. Heats up again in the motor area, but way less compared to the little guy. So this one is really pushing that motor to be able to do anything at 4 volts instead of 12 volts. So let's assume they were equally powerful. This would need to have, I'm just estimating, obviously, it's just a rough estimation, would have to have 3 times as much current going through it, because it's at a 3 times lower voltage compared to this one, and that heats up stuff. So you prefer to have higher voltage instead of more current, always in case of something like this, obviously. But then again, this thingy, not as nice to hold like this, and your hand will get tired. You will want to hold it like this more, and your hand again gets tired by working a lot on something like this. This one, no, because it's quite light, it's nice in the hand, but it gets so hot on jobs like this. On other smaller jobs it will not get as hot, and maybe yours will not get ever as hot because you didn't add a bearing. But with that in mind, this is spinning really easily now, so whatever it was doesn't count anymore. Anyway, I would add the bearings once again, honestly, in both of these if I were to do it all over again. Let's switch back the tips for these little fellows. So again, it seems this guy does not really like low speed that much, at least not with big tools. With smaller ones maybe doesn't have any issue with it. At higher speed this is also great, but it will still hit more than this one, which does make sense because again, higher current to do the same thing. Another thing that I'm estimating by what I'm seeing here, this guy will be happy to cut with big discs like this, which are actually even bigger when they are brand new. This one is a little bit used. This little guy will struggle with something like this. It's above what it can do. It will work with something like this, much smaller and obviously a bit thinner disc. So depending on what's your plan, this is not a one stop for all. If you just want one single tool for your house, get the bigger one. If you have more delicate jobs, then get the smaller one, but this will never be able to do the big jobs that this can do. This can do smaller jobs, it will just be a bit tiring on your hand. That's the difference. So yeah, that's about it for this video. Hope it helps you, in which case please give it a like, check out my other videos, and as always, see you in the next one. And obviously I put back the sticker. So yeah, bye.